don't remember that meeting, my first meeting with Adi sir, because I was so nervous. It definitely was a journey for me because in that meantime, I wasn't getting a lot of work as an actor. So I decided to become an assistant director.
One point when we realized that this is what we want to do, how did you break that news to your family and how did they react?
I think the biggest challenge always is the waiting period.
So how did you cope with rejections? Like what kept you motivated for it?
You should know that there is a big team that goes behind every actor's social media. There is like hair, like professional hair, professional makeup, kind of styling. Honestly, every day with Alia is like a masterclass because she's incredible at what she does. She's one of the most talented actresses that I've ever seen.
Now that the cameras are on, I would like to thank M.M.K College again for this beautiful bunch of students over here. I can see the excitement in the air. It's lovely. And for this beautiful venue, it's like taking us back to college days. So, welcome everyone. Welcome Sharvari.
Thank you. Hi guys.
So we have to start with this beautiful big question I always have, that Sharvari, like, you've had a beautiful year right now because Maharaj did so well, critically acclaimed film, and then 100 crore film Munjya. Yeah, it was like a surprise for everyone. So how has it been this year, the journey in the movie?
I think this year has been, it's been very gratifying and it's been such a grateful year because, you know, I've been working on all these films for the last few years but wo release nahi ho rahe the. And finally this year, I think the timing of things couldn't have been better actually. June really has been such a blessed month actually. Mera birthday bhi aata hai tabhi, so I really believed that I really got lucky this year, and touch wood, all the films have been received so well by obviously the audiences, by you all, and I'm just very grateful for this year.
Yeah, and you made the country dance like Jabardast. It's the kind of, you know, lovely hook steps and all, and we've planned a little bit because we have fans who want to dance with you all.
Yay, done.
Yeah. So, you know, I also want to understand from you, if you could take us a little back in time, when you was not an actor yet.
Okay.
So how was it for you as a student, before becoming an actor, after graduation? Because you've graduated in science.
No, I graduated in arts. I started with science.
Okay.
And then, so 11th standard I took science, and by 12th standard I shifted to arts. Because between 11th and see, lots of people here are feeling very inspired by that story. No, so 11th standard, there was this college contest called Fresh Face that happened in my college. I was in Ruparel College, and in 11th standard that contest happened, and I participated in that contest because they said ki chemistry lecture aapko free attendance mil jayega. So I decided that it's okay, at least 3 hours chemistry lecture mein baithne se better hai I go to, you know, I participate in this contest, max to max kya hai, ek dance karna padega types. So just like this, we had a hall in my college, and you know, we performed, everyone got like what 1 minute and all, and it turned out to be like a Miss India Fresh Face contest by Times of India, and I just, you know, I kept going from one round to another, and I finally won the title that year in 2014, and that's when I got like my first audition call, and ever since then it's just been a journey of an actor.
Yeah. So before becoming an actor and after this audition, what was that period like? Because we've heard a lot of stories of how actors give so many auditions and all. How was it for you?
So since 2014 I started giving auditions, and then it took me almost 5 years to get my first project, which was actually a show on Amazon Prime called The Forgotten Army. That was the first show that I did with Kabir Khan sir, who was the director of it. So it definitely was a journey for me because in that meantime, I wasn't getting a lot of work as an actor, so I decided to become an assistant director. I assisted on 3 films actually in that meantime. I was auditioning also, and then I was assisting on films. So I did Pyar Ka Panchnama 2, Bajirao Mastani, and then Sonu Ki Titu Ki Sweetie. So those were the 3 films that I was an assistant on.
Yeah. So when you were assisting, what are the things that you absorbed as someone who wanted to become an actor?
I think the most important thing was to just learn, because I don't come from a film family, so I didn't know how films are made. Like I know everybody knows action और cut के बीच में acting होती है, but there's not just that much. There's a lot that happens around it. There are so many technicians. Like there are cameramen, there are spot boys, there are costume people, there are set designers. Like I didn't know that there are so many people that make films happen.
Correct.
So for me, I think what I learned a lot was the atmosphere that was on set, and one, I got very used to this environment that was of filmmaking, and I tried to learn as much as I can behind the camera. And I think that's just been the biggest actually learning for me in this entire journey.
Yeah. While growing up, what did you want to become? And when did you realize that acting is something you want to try?
So my family always used to watch movies on a Sunday. It was like a ritual in my house that we used to like watch movies every Sunday, and we used to go to like theaters, or we used to rent like DVDs or CDs, and then we used to watch movies. So I used to always feel like movies are like this magical feeling where you get transported into like a different world and a different story. So I always wanted to be a part of movies, but I was too young and no one in my family was in the movies, so I never thought that is something that I will do or I can do, because it's not a life that was like, you know, something that I had seen around me. So I didn't have the courage to, you know, say, and I think I was too young that time. So, you know, as kids you say lots of things, astronaut banna hai, doctor banna hai, but aage jaake you never, you know, really become that.
Yeah.
So I never said it, but I used to keep my mom's dupattas, and I remember I used to tell them कि आप अपना सूट देना है तो दे दो, आप दुपट्टा मत देना. So then I had this drawer, और उस drawer में मैं सारे दुपट्टे रखती थी, and I used to watch these movies, and I used to come home and I used to like dress myself in these dupattas and like dance on these songs that I've seen. So I always wanted to be an actor. I don't think I had the courage to even tell myself that I wanted to be an actor till this college contest happened, and a door opened in like some small way. I think that is when I realized that okay, maybe this is the way I can start. जब तक मेरे पास वो start नहीं था, I don't think I had the courage to, you know, even tell myself or dream about this as a possibility.
Yeah, a lot of us were, you know, I remember being that age and not being clear about what we want to do. But at one point when we realized that this is what we want to do, how did you break that news to your family and how did they react?
So I remember when I participated in this contest, there were a lot of rounds. Like first round was in your college, second was inter college, then there was like a Mumbai like all the colleges in Mumbai, then there was all colleges all over India, so stuff like that. So they saw that I was really passionate about what I was doing. They saw that I was really passionate about you know, being in this field of just arts, you know, of being able to perform in front of the camera or be on stage. So I remember one afternoon my parents actually sat me down, and then they said that what do you want to do? Do you really want to do science? And I said I don't know. And that's when the whole conversation started, and they were the ones who said that do you really want to be an actor? And I said yeah. And that day actually my parents said okay, then come, we'll go to college and we'll switch from science to arts. And I was shocked. I was like abhi kya abhi? And they were like yeah, right now, because if you keep doing science then you're obviously going to, you know, you're going to keep your feet on two boats and you're never going to achieve either. You're going to have to be serious about what you do. So if you want to be an actor, then you need to get into arts, you need to go to acting schools, you need to go to dance classes, you need to learn what it is to be an actor and be very good at it. So that's how it happened.
Obviously she's very good at it. Haven't we all seen her movies? Yeah. Yes. And how many of you are excited for the Taras hook step? Yeah. So we've promised all of them that by the end we are going to do it. So tell me, today as an actor, wherever you go, there are paps following you. There's a lot of attention that you get as an actor. How do you navigate through all of this? And do you enjoy it? Initially, were you a little skeptical? How was it for you?
I think that being an actor, you kind of know that these are really the lay of the land and this really does happen. I'm always very grateful for this because it really is a part and parcel of this journey. And for even paps to follow you or for people to ask for like a picture or a selfie, that just means that they kind of follow your work and they appreciate your work, and it comes from that place. And I think that's why it always makes me really happy if that happens.
Yeah. We've just now had a very sweet interaction with a fan. But have you ever had a like craziest, insane fan interaction ever?
There was one really funny interaction. So I was at a coffee shop and somebody came up to me and said, एक selfie चाहिए. So I said okay, and they said आप तरस का hook step कीजिए. I said selfie में? So I no, but and the thing was ये बहुत initial days में था, so मैं खुद भी confused थी. तो मैंने ऐसे उनको पोस्ट करके दिया. So I think somebody now has a selfie of me where I'm doing this. So that was really funny. Then I realized कि मैं लोगों को बोलूँगी नहीं है, I'm normal photo लेंगी.
Everybody sees the glamorous side of being an actor. But what are the challenges that you face day to day, or how do you cope and navigate through a difficult time?
I think the biggest challenge as an actor is actually the waiting period, because like the work that we get is not, it's not like a 9 to 5, right? So that sometimes you have a lot of work and sometimes you have no work. When I was auditioning, I remember there was a large chunk of many years where I didn't have a lot of work. So I think that phase of just, that long wait where you have to keep telling yourself what your dream is, and you have to keep telling yourself, that it's gonna happen. So I think that the fact that you have to really push yourself and motivate yourself is the only way out of it. But I think the biggest challenge always is the waiting period.
A lot of times, a lot of young girls, even boys for sure, I'm assuming, all of us follow celebs on social media. And there is something that, oh, she's so beautiful, I want eyes like her, eyebrows like her, or lips like her. So I want something from you. What are the messages that you would want to give your audience about beauty standards, about the pressure of beauty standards that actors feel, and how to accept the natural beauty that we have?
I think that you're right. Like, while social media has a lot of pressure that falls, I would say, on a lot of people, I really believe that everybody should know that there is a big team that goes behind every actor's social media. There is like hair, like professional hair, professional makeup, kind of styling, and I think that because it's always so put together by experts, it always ends up looking very like grand and beautiful, and and then I guess a lot of people would say, oh, but why don't I look like this? And I really have to say that, trust me, it's a lot of like effort and a lot of expertise that go into this, and that's why it looks a certain way. So I really want to tell a lot of girls and boys that beauty standard, please don't compare yourself to anybody's social media beauty standards, because it's very put together. And I really want to tell people that everyone is really beautiful in their own way. It's just about being confident and being able to smile through it, and that's just the most important. So just don't compare yourself to anybody.
Yeah, but do you also feel a pressure to always look a certain way for the camera, for the paps, for the fans?
No, I honestly, I like getting ready, and I get dressed because I like it, and then I'll wear what I like, because that's really like a form of self-love. And I think even if you're an actor or you're not an actor, I think we all shop for clothes and we all like do these things because we want to wear them. Be it like, I have a few friends who work in like these in like corporate companies, so they are like obsessed with buying blazers and this and that. So I think that's a form of self-love.
Yeah.
So, but I don't take the pressure of it, but I do like to look nice and dress up.
Yeah.
Not always.
Yeah, but
not when I'm at home.
Lovely.
And not when I'm with my friends at all. Then I'm like a jhalli.
So we do know that Sharvari can also be a jhalli.
Yeah. Like you'll never find me in heels. This is only for y'all. I'm only wearing heels for y'all. Otherwise, never.
Sharvari, like, thanks for all this, like questions about social interactions and all of that. I want to now jump to work a little bit. We all know that Aditya Chopra, बहुत कम लोग मिले हैं, बहुत कम लोगों ने देखा है.
जी. Since
you have worked on Maharaja, which is backed by Aditya Chopra, tell me, how was your first meeting with the producer?
So, I mean, I did my first film, which was Bunty Aur Bubbly 2, which was also with Yash Raj, and I got signed on as a Yash Raj talent as well. So, ever since I have actually started my journey in films, I have been a part of Yash Raj. So my first interaction, of course, was, I was very nervous because I was like, they told me that you have to meet Aditya Chopra, and I thought in my head that means maybe I'm getting the film, because I had auditioned for like almost 2 months for Bunty or Bubbly, and then everything I used to get shortlisted. You know, you're shortlisted for the next round and the next rounds, and then the final call came from Shanu, and she said that you wanna have to go and meet Aditya Chopra. So I thought that okay, maybe I'm getting the film. So I think I don't remember that meeting, my first meeting with Adi sir, because I was so nervous and I was so I just wanted that film. Like I just wanted him to say that you've gotten Bunty or Bubbly too. So I think my first meeting I don't remember, it was very much in days because my heart was pounding for my first film.
Yeah. Only 5 years in the industry, but Sharvari, I have to give it to you that you are one of the most promising stars today because the kind of films that you've done and the kind of films that you're going to do. And you've worked with some of the best filmmakers we know today, Kabir Khan.
Yeah.
You know, you have worked, now you're working for Alpha. So
Yeah.
I want to understand from you how different is each filmmaker's process and how do you adjust to those processes?
So every filmmaker has a different process.
Yeah.
Like every actor also has a different process, and I think everyone's process also keeps changing. So I think the best thing is, the prep work of the film is really important because it's like homework. We all sit and you start discussing things. You understand what the director wants from your character, and every director has a different thing. Every director has a knack for finding something different in each character. So honestly, I just try and understand what they want and I try to deliver it best so that because I want to be a director's actor and that really is my aim for the future. So my whole idea is to just work a lot, like sit with a lot of homework, meet them more often and just try and understand what are they looking for from me and then just kind of deliver that.
Yeah. We saw your performances in Maharaj, Veda and Munjya this year.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. But now we are going to see you in Alpha.
Yeah.
And your social media was full of the gym prep,
Yeah.
physical training that you've gone for it. Have you
Yeah.
all seen it? She's really worked hard on it, right? I want to ask you, like, preparing so hard for a film, a franchise film which is in the YRF Spy Universe, which also interlinks Shah Rukh Khan, Hrithik Roshan and all of that. So what, is it a big responsibility? How do you deal with it?
It's a huge responsibility because I'm the youngest actor to be a part of a YRF Spy Universe franchisee, and the fact that I get to headline a film which has 2 women doing action is like the first of its kind.
Yeah.
And so it's a huge responsibility because there are such big names attached to all of these films. Like it could be War, it could be Tiger, it could be Pathan, and like these are really big names, and Alpha gets attached to this family. So it's a big responsibility. So which is why I'm going extra to the gym, guys. Like I have a huge responsibility, so I better work hard. So I'm just going to the gym, doing my action training, keeping my head down, and just working hard.
Yeah, and how is it sharing the screen? I mean, with Alia, right? We are shooting with her.
Yeah.
Something that you picked up from her?
Honestly, every day with Alia is like a masterclass because she's incredible at what she does. She's one of the most talented actresses that I've ever seen, and to be able to just be in the same room with her is just getting to learn from the best.
Yeah. Now, I mean, these are the questions I had, but I'm sure like at least 10 people have raised their hands,
superb.
for questions.
So, hi Sharvari, hi, I'm Gayatri, and my question is like, you auditioned for Suri Dhaga and Thug of Hindustan, sorry. So, how did you cope with rejections? Like, what kept you motivated for it?
So obviously when you're rejected, you feel like you failed an exam, and there's no other answer, because obviously when you don't get something that you really worked hard towards, your first reaction is to feel bad, and I guess I've had that, but I think you have to come out of it and try and see what you can do better, because there's always a reason why you get rejected for something, and if you can find that, work on it and go back stronger, then there's nothing like it. So I think that's how I saw it. Thank you.
Hi, ma'am. Actually, I'm a big fan of yours, and I've seen your work in Munjya, Veda, and Maharaj. And the 3 roles are very different from each other. So, which was the most challenging scene which you have faced, and how did you overcome from it?
I think the most challenging film was Veda, because that film is it's a very difficult story of a girl who's fighting for justice, and it had a lot of very uncomfortable scenes to actually perform. But the prep work of Veda also I mean, it was really difficult because I had to learn Rajasthani and I'm Maharashtrian. So for me, the language was very, very difficult, firstly, to get. Boxing I had never done in my life. So I realized that to even pick up boxing gloves, you need to be able to have a certain amount of fitness. So first 2 months, I only trained on my fitness. Then I learned boxing as a sport. So that was a really long process for me. But I think Veda was the most challenging character because unfortunately we still see these stories happen, and which is why it had to be dealt with so much sensitivity, and I think that was really my responsibility. And I think that it's always a thin line between being correct about a character, and I was always very scared about that line. So I honestly, that was a tricky part for me, but I'm very glad that people watched it and appreciated the part and the film. So hopefully I did something right.
Full congratulations for your Actress of the Year award.
Thank you.
And I wanted to know, if you hadn't received this award, which actress and for which movie they would have won?
Oh, that's a nice question. If I hadn't received it, I think both the girls in Lapata Ladies were fantastic. So I guess both of them. Thank you.
So my question is, how do you manage your professional life with personal life?
I think that I give time to both of it because it's very important that you give enough time to your professional life and your personal life. So for me, I think if my friends have their birthdays, I don't miss my friends' birthdays because I really love my friends and they are the reason why I am today and the way I am today. So even if I'm busy, I will try and show up for any moment, like if it is a family function or my friends' birthdays, I make sure that I'm there, even if it is for like 20 minutes, but I will be there.
Hi ma'am, my name is Banafsha. My question is that you have done films this year talking about in 3 different genres, and all 3 are very different from each other. Which one did you enjoy the most?
Which one did I enjoy the most? As a character, I really enjoyed Maharaj the most because I really love comedy films, and even though Maharaj is a dramatic film, my part was a really funny girl's part. And yeah, so also because it's such a quintessential heroine role also, which we've all grown up watching. So I think I always wanted to be a part of something like that. So for me, Maharaj was a lot of fun because I got to learn a lot of Gujarati. I got to wear like some really beautiful outfits because, you know, it was a period film. So everything was very like detailed. So I enjoyed my part in Maharaj a lot.
Hello, Sharvari ma'am. You
Hi.
look stunning
Thank
today.
you. Thank you.
So I wanted to ask, like, if not acting, what career would you be right now in? Because you chose science in your 11th, as you said. So like doctor, engineer, just
No, I actually wanted, so I was going to do civil engineering. So I was actually studying for my JEE exam. And so I guess I would be a civil engineer if I would have cleared and passed and gotten through.
means you were a studious.
I was actually, I was very studious. I was a 90 plus grade child.
Wow, really nice.
Rupa
Thank you.
Hi.
First of all, hi Sharvari. Being a Maharashtrian, I would say तुम्ही खूप छान दिसताय.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So I want you to ask, like, you have worked with Saif, Siddharth, and John, then Munjya. So I want you to ask that how was the experience with the lead actors? I mean, what was the change you had to make throughout the years? I mean,
honestly, there's really no change actually with every actor, be it male or female. There's always, it's like how you make new friends, right? Everybody has a different personality and you have to kind of cope up with everyone's personalities and, you know, become friends on set. So it's not like particularly that I had to change or I had to be a certain way with male actors. That never happened. But it was always a lot of fun to work with all of them because all of them have such crazy personalities, and one thing that everybody has in common is that they're really funny. Like John is very funny, Saif sir is like very, very funny, and even Siddhant has a great sense of humor. So I think that I actually really enjoyed my time with all of them.
I mean, the experience was totally worth it. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Sharvari,
Hi.
my name is Sanjana.
Hi Sanjana.
My question is for you that in Munjya movie, which was the challenging scene for you?
In Munjya, the most challenging scene was when, the Munjya goes inside me, and so where I had to do all that prosthetics. I think the most challenging part was that it was basically like this silicone, bendable silicone that got stuck from here to here, and they used to paint on it, and also it used to take like anywhere between 5 hours to 6 hours for that whole thing to happen. And it was stuck on your face with glue, so obviously there was no air that was coming in, and all your face gets stuck after some time. So when I was supposed to do these scenes where I'm supposed to growl and all, my expressions were only not coming out because everything was so stuck. And so it took me a really long time to figure how to do that. So that was the most challenging part for me.
I like to give you a compliment. In Tara's song, you were looking super hot and super
thank
gorgeous. I
you.
love that song, even I love you also.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Hi.
Back, behind the scene moment in any of your film, like that's like the most funniest one.
What's the most funniest moment behind the scenes? So I would actually say from Munjya, because we were shooting in Konkan, and Konkan, we were shooting really like in really tiny villages of Konkan, and generally कोई भी गांव में आप जाओ तो the lights are very dim, plus there used to be like coconut trees, and then not many people on the roads, cars तो होते ही नहीं है, so everything is very like सन्नाटा होता है वहाँ पे, and we were doing night shoots. So I remember when I used to get out of my van and I had that prosthetic, I remember few children used to start screaming and all in their house, and that was really funny because every time I used to step out of my van, some child somewhere used to scream. Once to even Taran, who's playing Spielberg in our film, he had also gotten so scared. Suddenly I sat next to him, he turned around and he started screaming loudly. So that prosthetics used to be very funny actually.
Wow.
For other people.
My name is Mansi Dagre. I don't have any question. I just want to tell that he was so beautiful, so elegant, just looking
like a wow. Thank you so much. You are also looking like a wow.
Thank you.
Any more questions, or should we now do the hook step that we are all waiting for? Yeah. So, do we have volunteers? Come.
And you have to forward it a little bit. पूरा गाना करना पड़ेगा हम सबको. नहीं, अभी पीछे जाओ. Ready? Now this is good. You all know na hook step? What if I forget? Thank you guys. Thank you so much. No problem. Thank you. Bye. Of course. Yes, of course. We take after this thing is over. And इसके खत्म होने के बाद.